K1UI, K1UI, K1UI. Copy KW4ARC, Kilowatt 4 Amateur Radio Club calling K1UI, K1UI, K1UI. Here's KW4ARC calling, KW4ARC calling K1UI. W2IEJ, W2IEJ, W2IEJ. Here's KW4ARC calling W2IEJ. Are you there? Over. W2IEJ, W2IEJ, W2IEJ. Here's KW4ARC calling W2IEJ. Are you there? Over. QRZ, here's KW4ARC, Kilowatt 4 Amateur Radio Club, standing by.
Yeah, is that K4, KW4, ARC, KU4PT?
Okay, it's Kilowatt, KW4 ARC, located in Coconut Creek, Florida. This is a club station, the Winmore Amateur Radio Club. My normal call is W9TWW, and handle here is Ralph. Go ahead.
Okay, well, that's a good name. That's same as mine is Ralph also, RLPH. And yeah, located just about the middle of North Carolina, a little old small town with about 30,000 people or so, just roughly about the middle of the state.
You're not doing that bad. You got a 10 over signal here, and I don't even have the beam on you. So there you are. In the earlier days, let's say the period from right after the Second World War to about the 90s was the heyday of the amateur radio. It was a means of communicating via radio over the air. Amateur radio is very intriguing, and there are many people that are still applying for and doing amateur radio that are new to do it. Okay, it requires some skill and some technical knowledge to do it. Yes, you can pick up a cell phone and talk around the world, okay, but what sense of accomplishment does that, except that you were able to buy the cell phone? There are multiple ways of communicating that most amateur operators are familiar with and can do. Teletype, CW or Morse code. The most common one is by voice microphone. What you're hearing now is there must be a station that is rare, and people are operating in what they call a pile-up. Okay, you heard like three guys calling whoever it is, and all they're doing is repeating either the last three or the last two of their call letters so they can get to be recognized by the station that's out in hinterland someplace, okay? Okay. And it works quite well. I'm 78. I've been doing it on and off since I've been in high school. Back in the olden days when I was a novice, I got on Morse code and was calling CQ by Morse code because as a novice, that was all I was allowed to operate. Okay. Tuning around for it, I heard the station calling my call letters and identifying himself with what I thought was an IMS. And I'm trying to figure out, and I had my list of countries at that time, and I couldn't find out any station that had that call letter until it dawned on me that the I and M was Z or Z and S, okay, which is South Africa. And I was so nervous and so shaky that I wondered if he could ever copy what I was sending back to him, but he did. And I did get to meet that gentleman about 20 years later. When I connect with somebody, especially from a new country, it's thrilling because it is like meeting an old friend on the radio. You can sit here and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Okay, yeah. It's something to say that I got you. Okay, and it's another piece of paper on the wall. You can acknowledge stations that way. These cards are sent by the QSL Bureau, and their purpose is to acknowledge the contact that you made. Now, not everybody does this because you can either do it by direct mail, but that gets expensive. Like, for example, here's a card from Barbados, okay? Ohio, Germany. Here's Marion, Indiana. Tohichi, Japan. Okay? So, we can go through them. We've got them. Do you have or can you have the ability to go back and listen to broadcasts from 20 years ago, 50 years ago, 100 years ago? If you could go travel out into space 50 light years or 50 years ahead, that distance, okay? The radio waves emanating from Earth would be out there. So yes, they will be there. So you would be able to listen to a program, providing you had sufficient equipment and experience to tune it in. I can't say I love it, because I'm one of these nuts that don't love anything that can't love me back. Yeah, that's true. Okay. But amateur radio on my list is probably third or fourth. I got to put my wife and grandkids and my children in there too. There's radio communications going on all the time. Just think of all the people that are out there that are communicating with one another without ever seeing any or having the ability to see, who may have never met. And to me that is really fascination, because it's there, it's available.